Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by Hardcore Gamer PC Pro Extraordinaire Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello Mikey.
PC... what is it? PC Master Race? Woot.
Mikey the Hardcore Gamer. He's
Styling.
got the chair. He's got the...
I nearly got the chair during the week, to be completely honest, but that is too much to pay for the chair.
Yeah, those gamer chairs are like, what, 200-300? Something like that?
No. I'm struggling to pay 100 for a decent chair.
This is why I just bought a couch instead, because it's like, well, this was about 200 and I can put my feet up on it.
I'm podcasting upside down.
Now that would be an interesting way to go. That's a different way to go.
Have a mic arm hanging over the bed.
Like, depending how long we go for, that could probably kill you if you were upside down for long enough. The things you learn as you get older. How's it going though this week, Mr. Mikey? Is it going well? How is your hand? Is your hand up to touching quality yet?
No, unfortunately not, which will be a bit of the cake in the teeth later on. But
bummer.
I'm not in sheer agony, and I'm in a brace now instead of a cast.
That's good.
So, but if I take it off for more than 5 minutes, it's just like, why is my hand so heavy?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Are you going to have to do hand exercises at some point, or will it still be okay? I'm not saying you have to masturbate, Mikey. Jesus. And that's not hand exercise. That's definitely not hand exercise. That's a penis exercise.
Actually, I don't know. It doesn't do much during it.
I don't know which thing you're talking about, the hand or the penis. I'm like, oh man.
I'm looking at my waveform now. That laugh comes across very strangely.
But you are on the mend at least, so that's good news. Very, very slowly. How long until did they mention how long until you can take the brace off?
Probably October 11th, 12th, around then.
Oh, so not too far off.
Hopefully, because it takes about 6 weeks, and then just like take it relatively easy after that for a while.
Okay. Oh well, that's good. Sweet. Well, we're here to talk about Transformers news today, as the way that things are done in this day and age. So we're going to kick off with third-party news, because it's primarily going to be third-party news and a little bit of statue stuff, I suppose, because there's been a lot of statues revealed.
The Charles section, as I'll be calling it from now on.
Oh, is it the Charles section? Okay. We don't. I wouldn't say we always cover the statues, because sometimes I just look at it and go, eh.
Yeah, but we all know Charles is the one who loves that kind of stuff, so it's the Charles section.
That's true. He is in charge of our days and our lives. Charles is in charge of our wrongs and our rights.
You know more of that than you should.
I know only that much. It
never
Charles in charge of me.
Never aired in our country, as far as I'm aware. Did it?
No, I don't think it did.
So you already know more than you should.
Yeah, well, I only know of it because it's been referenced in other American shows that we've had over here. So that's my issue.
I don't even know who Charles is. What's he in charge of?
A house, I think. I think the idea is he runs a house, and he's the head of the family. And it's a sitcom, so he's probably incompetent.
I was going to say, is this like a mob boss thing?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I only know the
Charles in charge, taking your knees.
Yeah, exactly. Played by Joe Pesci. The most angry tiny gangster ever.
Then he went into acting.
We're kicking off this week with Doctor Wu. They're showing off the DWE-02 and EO1. EO1 is the Destroy Emperor Po.
Emperor
Po. No, it's Po, because there's not another O, so it's Emperor Po. Even though it would be better, I grant you, if it was Pooh. I would have called it Emperor Pooh. And DWE-02 is Monitor Officer. So, first one is Galvatron. Second one is Soundwave. They are G1 styled. Big, shocking, stonking surprise. They are in the style of the size class of a Legends figure, or maybe smaller. Basically, the idea is the Galvatron at least comes up to the nearly up to the top of the green heel on Scorponok. So that's it's bigger than a Micromaster, but not much bigger, I don't think. Not much. So I would definitely say it is in the Legend scale. He turns into a gun. They show him with a effect pack that I think comes with one of the official Hasbro toys. I don't think it's an effect pack that comes with this figure, as far as I can tell. Seems fairly posable. And they show him in multiple shots standing on Scorponok and standing on the city mode and whatnot.
Yeah.
In terms of information, he's going to be 6 centimeters tall, so everybody pull out your rulers. Important stuff to talk about. No info on when he's coming out or how much he be. But there you go. The Soundwave is obviously Soundwave, and he does Soundwave things like turn into a cassette deck. It doesn't show anything laser beaky or I was going to say wavage.
Oh, wavage.
Wavage wise. It doesn't show anything like that, but it doesn't look like he has the capability of doing that, and probably with the scale he's at, he probably can't. But if later on down the line he can, then there you go, yay. What do you think of these two, Mikey? How do you think the sculpts are? How do you think the transformations are for the scale that they're going for?
For the scale for the transformation, I think they're decent.
Yeah.
I don't think they're I think it's really telling these are two of the simplest transformation schemes.
Especially Soundwave.
Yeah. So it's like, if you're going to do it, you're not, not Megatron, not something like that. It's the two guys who basically just lie down and move their legs into a weird position.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with Galvatron's sculpt, though.
The robot mode or the vehicle mode or both?
Well, I mean, the vehicle mode is basically just like the Galvatron vehicle mode, so you love it or you hate it. But it's the robot mode. Like, I think the arms are too big, and I don't like the face.
I don't know what they're going for style-wise, because it doesn't evoke Galvatron, but it almost looks like a weird take on Megatron. Like if they gave him a pointy crown, but it's not a Galvatron crown either.
Yeah. And Soundwave is just a Soundwave.
It's another one.
He's just a teeny tiny Soundwave.
Yeah.
So he's a 60mm tall Soundwave. Good for him.
Yay.
But I can't say I'm in love with these. I know there are people out there who do want like inverted commas in scale with a robot that's supposed to be a city. But I've never been one of them. So I think for display purposes, some people are going to be really excited for these. I'm afraid that I'm not the target market. What about you, Andy? Owner of the most reliable and complete toy ever made.
We'll get to that, and I'll put out a general appeal, because what else can I do? In terms of these figures, I like you, I don't really like how Galvatron looks, just because it doesn't have the Galvatron feel to the head specifically, and Soundwave is just like, well, here's another Soundwave. I think we've had better looking Soundwaves as well, that maybe are a little bit bigger, but not much bigger, like, oh god, who were they called? There was one that was all the rage a few years ago.
I wouldn't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. But we've had other small scaled Soundwaves that I think do look better than this. Now maybe, like I say, this is a little bit smaller than them, but I don't think to the point where I'd be like, oh, this is far superior. But if you are in the market for a uber duper super tiny whiny little Soundwave, then I guess this is a thing. Hang on, is it actually Micromaster scale? It might actually be Micromaster scale. I've got a Micromaster in hand, which I'll talk about later. And I obviously, as Mikey hinted at, I do have a Scorponok, so I've got the head. And it looks like it's actually Micromaster scale rather than Legend scale.
That's very tiny.
It is, so it is still impressive. Still don't think they look great. Still don't think they look cool. The best things about Micromasters are the simplistic transformations, and usually they've gone for very simple designs with those transformers, and I think trying to get a figure that's much bigger and transforms in a very specific way and squishing them down to the scale doesn't always work. But, good college try, as they say.
Yeah.
Mikey, Lemon Tree have shown us some flesh-coloured things, haven't they?
Yes, they have murdered people and have skinned them and are putting them on display. It's really quite disturbing.
Well, I find it sexual, but teach their own. Teach their own.
You find everything sexual, though.
It's true. It's true. I'm very
but yes, Lemon Tree continues their bizarre naming scheme with LT05 and 07, carrot and eggplant.
Oh, it's the eggplant to penis dildo thingy.
Kind of.
Oh, wow. Okay, sweet.
So Carrot is the Bumblebee movie design for Ironhide, which certainly lacks a bit of character in skin tone.
It's odd.
Yeah. So, and Eggplant is, yes, the most purple and phallic of Transformers Bumblebee movie Shockwave. So, I don't think I've seen a third-party Shockwave before, Bumblebee movie.
I think this is our first. I think last week or the week before we mentioned that it was the only one we hadn't seen as of yet, and now we've got one, I suppose, for better or for worse.
Shockwave looks quite a bit more detailed in Ironhide, but I suppose that's just down to the design. Lemon Tree did that really cool Nemesis Shockwave.
Yeah, that's not out yet, though, is it?
No, I don't think so. But unfortunately, most of their designs so far have been Bumblebee movie designs, which, it's fine, but like that market is a bit oversaturated. But they are doing some characters that no one else has touched, which I think is cool. So yeah, I like the Shockwave, just as the base design, and it looks fairly articulated. Wondering what he turns into. And Ironhide really needs color or something because he's just not popping as he is. What about you?
I would say that Ironhide doesn't have much of an interesting silhouette here. So I don't think he's, at least currently in flesh color, he definitely doesn't have that pop. Shockwave obviously does because he has an interesting silhouette, and I do like the head, but he's got very slender legs, very like model like legs, very long and lithe. He just needs like a ballroom gown to kind of go with it, with a big slit up the side, so you can see a bit too much thigh. Big head. Don't love the design overall, but will be interested to see how they transform, or what they specifically what Shockwave turns into. We know Ironhide's going to turn into some kind of Cybertruck of some sort, but I don't love them, and like you, I would have preferred them to go down a bit more of a weird route with the whole Shockwave turning into the Galvatron spaceship. If we could have had more of that, that would have been quite cool. But it seems like they've maybe found I wouldn't say it's a niche because it feels like a lot of people are doing the movie Bumblebee stuff, but I guess that's the hot stuff to do at the moment.
They're riding that vibe of not terrible as much as they can.
Yeah, because we've got the two waves at the moment of things, which is the constant, which is Masterpiece Scale G1.
Yep,
that seems to never go away. And the next one I would say is the movie Bumblebee stuff. That's the two big pushes from third party at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
There you go. Hey ho. They're not for me, but I can appreciate what they're trying to do, even if they are very, very quickly oversaturating the market.
Yep, and I whack my mic.
Yay! Punish it. Mikey, should I take us on?
Take us on.
All right, this is DNA Design DK 19 and 21. Where's 20? I don't know. Do you know where 20 is, Mikey?
I don't believe in 20s.
No, wow, okay. Well, there you go. It does seem weird that these two, which are for the same toy, which is the Earthrise Scorponok, we don't have a 20. Maybe 20's already been announced and it was something else?
Maybe 20 is Scorponok.
That would be very weird for DNA Designs. They haven't done a standalone figure for a while.
Haven't they?
Don't think so.
Don't you?
Not often.
Will you?
No.
Oh.
It hurts my brain too. So, as I say, both of these are for the Earthrise Scorponok. Kit 19, I'll call it, will come with gun. Gun is 30.5 centimeters long. It comes with silver leg parts, 2 of them. Ankle panel fillers, 2 of them. Articulated shoulder cannons, 2 of them. And an early pre-order bonus of a face shield, which looks lame. Because it always looked lame.
Yes, also legs.
That's not in this one.
Oh, I thought
no.
that was... Is it?
No, the articulated legs are in part 2.
Oh, okay.
Because in the 21, you've got the articulated scorpion legs. You get 2 of them. You get 2 more articulated cannons. You get a shield extension and the pre-order bonus, which is a clear red visor. Those are for the eyes. So that is not super cool, but it's better than the face shield because the face shield is lame as fuck. I've never liked that face shield. I thought it looked lame in the Headmaster's cartoon as well. I've never been a fan. So... we have multiple images of what these do. The articulated cannons, though aren't super necessary, are quite nice, so you can, twiddle the barrels round and do a bit more with them. The fact that you get 2 means if you only feel the need to... Because if you didn't know, the original Scorponok toy, or at least the basic Earthrise one, only has the 2 cannons, and he's clearly meant to have 4. So... I'd say that's good on that basis. He is missing, obviously, his big iconic gun. Kit 19 will give you that gun. I think that is nice. The ankle filler part, though not essential, again is quite nice. Just because there is a big gap for his ankle, and that does cover that up quite successfully. I'll be interested to see how it works in hand, just for it to all mush together. The gun can split apart, so you can slap it into base mode. The cannons, the extra cannons, I should say, can be used as they're intended, or they can be stuck onto the leg panels, which I don't think really works particularly well, but it's an option. I'd personally find somewhere else to shove them. What were the other things in this kit? The ankle fillers, which we can't see. I don't really know what what they're called. The silver leg parts really do. It beefs up the bits on the side, but I don't really see why.
They seem more for the base mode.
I was trying to see what they did in the base mode.
They sort of expand the claws, make them look more like towers.
Yeah, I guess it's again just because those purple parts that clip into the guns are a bit flat. It's maybe to just kind of fill in the gap behind it a bit more, I suppose. Right, so the second kit comes with the articulated scorpion legs. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. On the original toy, if you didn't know, the legs are 2 of them are stuck together, but they have 1 joint for the knee, ? And then the ankle for the scorpion leg. These have more. These you can direct them in and outwards and up and down independently. It looks like you'll be able to rotate them. There's a lot more to them, so that's good.
Yeah.
Though it does take a bit more engineering on your part. It looks like you'll have to unscrew some parts and replace the entire back section, but that's not too hard, especially when you can see the original versus the upgrade kit. There's a lot more posability there, which is nice. It adds a bit more cannons. Don't really need to talk about that. The shield extension parts really do help make the shield go from a bit of a thin boy to a big old fat one. Which actually make it look a lot more like a shield. I will say it doesn't look completely coloured. At least the bits on the side of the shield and the bit in the middle. I'm not sure whether that's the case, but it looks like they could do a bit better of a colour match to the actual shield itself, in my opinion. And those parts seem to be able to go onto the claws in Scorpion mode for some reason. I don't know why.
Because they have to go somewhere.
That's true. And then they're just kind of stuck on parts on the city mode, which again just seems weird, especially because the ramp has this big old block just covering it up, so it stops it being a ramp at that point.
Well, you got a police who goes into your cities.
I guess.
Does he look like someone who doesn't have some sort of papers, please style passport check?
Yeah, they're called giant guns.
Yeah. It's like everyone stops there, the gun's training them. You get shot, and then he says, papers, please.
Oh, I didn't mention as well, the big gun in 19 can attach to the scorpion tail for an even bigger scorpion tail thing, if you want your bigger daggers. What do you think of this upgrade kit then, Mikey? Because I think this does a lot of decent stuff, though I fear it's going to be both very expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you really want to G1ify your Scorponok, you've got some good options here. I think the gun is a fun throwback. I think the cannons are kind of the big thing for me. I think they are necessary, and I like the legs.
Yeah. Which leg parts do you mean? Do you mean the ankle fillers, or do you mean the
actual spider
bits?
legs?
Oh, the spider bits. Okay,
scorpion legs, rather.
Oh, okay,
right phylum at least. But like the thing on the side and the gap fillers on the legs, on the inside of the legs, I've never noticed that gap looking at pictures of Scorponok before. I'm only noticing now because they pointed it out to me.
Okay, I had noticed beforehand when the promo images were up, but yeah, I can understand missing that.
But I'm not the one who might have to potentially buy this. So I ask you, Andy Millman.
Yes?
Would you consider purchasing this to expand your playable experience?
Definitely. If only there were 2 panels in here that weren't included in my figure that I could use to fill up that fuck up by Hasbro. If only.
The hole in your heart.
And back. Fuck's sake. Again, we'll get onto that in a bit. But yeah, I like everything that's included here. The Scorpion Leg edition is nice. The shoulder cannons are very good. I do like the big silly gun. I do think it adds to him because let's be honest, right?
Yes.
Let's be honest. Fast track turning into the Tyrant Spear doesn't look great, at least in my opinion.
I mean, no, but you want the cheesy gold one. Because at least then you have a cheesy gold spear.
Yeah, I want him because he's stupid and gold, and hopefully we'll go with a Black Zarek in the future. But I think in terms of a weapons look, I think the gun looks better. It looks like he holds it better than the Tyrant Spear, because the Tyrant Spear that fast track forms looks like a robot who's attempting to do a spear mode, i.e. not very successfully. This looks like the thing that he's made for. And the upgraded shield parts, like if you look at the shot where he's holding the gun and he's got the shield in front of him, if you take off all of the extension parts, the shield falls flat. Imagine like a riot shield, but then kind of cutting it maybe into a third of its size to just cover your forearm. That's kind of how it looks. So I do think that addition, even though the parts clearly are just kind of shitty in every other mode and don't really have a purpose. I think the main purpose that they serve of bulking up the shield does help. I still don't understand what the point is in those silver bits on the side of the legs, though. I just don't understand. They just seem to be there for no reason. You
don't think there's someone out there who's incredibly excited about those?
I mean, there's different tastes for different sorts and everything like that. So yeah, there's probably somewhere out there who's got a big old throbber for it. But I look at it and I just go, I don't understand why it's that much better. But maybe in hand I would feel differently. And like I said, the face plate clear part, I couldn't care less about. That could go in the bin. I do think the translucent eyes are kind of nice. Because otherwise it's a big solid piece on the normal toy. And it means that you can see the painted kind of green eyes underneath with that, so that will probably give a cool effect to it. But if you don't want to use that part, you can always get the stickers from Toy Hacks, I suppose. So yeah, I these are both going to be like 30 quid each minimum, I would have thought.
Yeah, definitely minimum.
Yeah, I could see them easily being like £40 each, which is a bit rough. I'm trying to decide which I'd like more. And I think realistically the smartest one to go for first is the spider legs, the scorpion legs.
Yeah.
And then worry about the gun later. But there you go. There you go. Those are the upgrade kits. Mikey, do you want to take the next 2, I suppose?
Yeah, might as well.
Combiners, I suppose.
So yeah, we have prototype combiner third-party figures from 2 new studios, as far as I can tell. The first up is
unique characters.
Yeah, Dreamstar Toys are doing the classic, almost untouched Generation 1 Combiner Superion. Could have been Dino King.
It could have been anyone else but Superion. Most boring.
Well, this is a highly stylized take in him.
It is
very detailed.
Yeah.
A lot of panel lining. We see Superion. We see 3 of the aerial bots in robot mode. I think we see all the jet modes. I don't know. I know one might be Slingshot because he has orange eyes. The other one is definitely Silverbolt. Silverbolt seems to, God bless him, have the Silverbolt curse.
Which is?
His entire self existing under a plane.
Do you think that's just, at this point, even in third party, done deliberately? Because it was kind of on the model. The cartoon model, I mean.
I feel like they should they should really try and he's supposed to be one of the fastest jets ever designed.
Yeah. Didn't they blow up a lot, though?
Yeah, but that didn't make them slow. It just meant that there was a very fast, fiery wreck flying by your head. But yeah, we see it looks... I'm not 100% sure on this, but it looks... Okay, I was going to say that it looked like the feet and hands might be integrated, but I don't think the feet are. I can't comment on the hands very easily. But yeah, this is super detailed and super stylized. I really appreciate any attempt at stylization these days, and while this is a little busy for my tastes, I am a classic super robot man. I really like that someone's put a decent spin on them. Like, I'll never want it. Like, I was looking at a combiner limb during the week. I think it's what's it called, Chang Toys or something like that. Ferocious, the Rampage they did.
Oh, yeah.
I've no interest in owning Predaking, but I really like how that tiger mode turned out. And I've seen their version of Tantrum. He looks good as well, but I really like the tiger.
Would you get the tiger as a standalone, do you think?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's expensive though, but it's got an arm mode, and that looks really good for what it is. But like I said, I have no interest in the combiner. Yeah, this is a case where it's just like, I wouldn't buy any of these, but I think it's really cool that they're being done. Please, for the love of God, do someone else. Like, I said there, do Dino King. Just don't do this. Please stop doing... I don't want to know that your next release is going to be Devastator.
Yeah, well, who would have been more boring of a choice? Devastator or... Maybe Bruticus actually might have been more boring.
Yeah.
He's picked a lot, because he's your bog standard, less boring, but still overused at this point. That's how I describe Bruticus. Overused, while Superion is boring.
Yeah, and like Abominus... Predaking is now boring.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I'd argue most of them are, because they've all been...
Abominus has only had 2?
No, that can't be true, is it?
Because there's Groin, and there's one that's coming out at the moment.
I'm sure there's been another
which
one.
I think is TFC. And Piranacon's only had TFC, if I remember right.
It feels like more.
Yeah, well, like, we've also got, like, Godnet, the official ones and stuff like that.
That's true. Yeah, maybe that's it then.
Yeah. There's so, like, one of the most disappointing things was when fans projected the Dino Force, and then oof.
Yeah.
That wasn't an impressive toy line. So if someone would like to redo them, that'd be fun. Or, like, Leo Kaiser hasn't been touched in ages. It'd be nice to see a stylized take on him.
True. Or you could go really weird and crazy and do the zone versions of them.
Yeah, that'd be neat. Predaking with his brain.
Yeah, and his stupid face.
Yeah. Or, like, I'd even take, like, articulated versions of the Micromaster combiners.
I was going to say, what if you maybe didn't fully upscale them, but you made them a bit more into, like, deluxe scale versus the master
but like
so
properly articulated and everything else. That would be nice. But like, before anyone says like you're all naming the same combiners, that's because there's only so many combiners in the cartoons and the toy lines.
Pretty much. Even when you go to Japan, there's only so many.
Because my response to that then is I'd also like them to do original designs. But they did that with Glacial Lord, who I might pick up for Christmas.
Oh really? Oh shit! You can actually. I'm actually more surprised you can find it.
There's ways and means. But, they did that, and everyone said, no, we don't want that. It's not you want. And I hated every single one of you.
Yeah, same.
We could have had a whole line of that. That would have been amazing.
Can you imagine if they did a full-on cryptid combiner as well?
Oh, Chupa thingy.
Yeah, Chupacabra, Sasquatch.
Nessie could be the center, I'd say.
Yeah.
Have her a bit bigger than the rest.
Yeah.
Mothman, Jersey Devil. There you go.
Yeah, there are Transformer creatures that have not been done, or there have been creatures, loads of creatures throughout history that haven't been touched. There could be.
You could have a Kraken in the backpack.
Oh, that'd be fun. I mean, all we need to do is get Mikey to give us a book of prehistoric animals.
Just go
through
the deadliest bastard of all, the sea otter,
the pangolin.
The Penta!
There
was a very, very, very big penguin. That
Oh,
I
yeah.
guarantee you, if you met, you'd be very concerned was about to poke your eye out.
Yeah, well, it was almost the same size as a character, if I remember. It's weird times. Shall we move on, Mikey, or shall we... Oh, I haven't even given my thoughts on these, have I? I think they kind of drop into the, at least combine mode. They kind of edge the line of overly greebly, like you said, Mikey, kind of like the Bumblebee movie stuff.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting take on all of them. It's also just, as you, I just don't care about the aerial bots, but...
They could do any of the RID combiners that's not... Valdigus, I'm remembering his Japanese name. I don't remember his English name. Ruination,
yeah.
I take any of the Autobot ones.
Yeah, but these are very, very, very greebly. They definitely look like a third-party company thing that's not trying to do G1. So I'll give them that at the very least. It's something. What was the other combiner then, Mikey?
Yeah, this is from Moon Studio, who have revealed their Radiatron.
Is it a radiator?
It is not. It's their version of G1 Raiden.
Oh, wow, something different.
Something different. Your only
good.
option for a different combiner now, I'm afraid. Because I don't think anyone's ever done Raiden. We had that Masterpiece thing teased last year, but we haven't heard anything for that in ages.
Maybe that was scrapped.
Maybe, like that Armada Optimus.
Oh, God, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. But, so yeah, this is a beefy sort of TFC vibe I'm getting from this.
I think that's fair to say.
Version of Raiden. Really highlighting some of the weird asymmetry in his train designs, but there's not much to say. I like the overall look. They've got a sort of color CGI model up there that was on display, and the colors work really well. He's not super G1, but he's not super inventive either. I'm curious. I want to see what he looks like. I'm not super familiar with the Raiden core components. Or Raiden himself, to be completely honest. So I am curious to see where this one goes.
Yeah, same. I don't think it looks fine. Like, it looks standard, like you say. It's got that TFC kind of vibe, and that's neither been your nor I's preferred third-party company in terms of their visuals. Yeah. But hey, it's fucking Raiden, and Raiden's had so far like non third-party companies or even official releases since the original. So fuck it, go for it, do something. Good for you guys.
Do you want to cover the next one, or will I? Because it's quick.
I'll do it because it's a quickie. It's basically we've got Shockwave Labs SL85 upgrade kit for the SS62 Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave. What do you get? You get a pair of 30 centimeter long magnetic tentacles and a pair of leg fillers. So you see them holes in them legs, plug them. And you see these little tentacle things that Soundwave always had or wanted. He's got them now. They also have the magnets on them.
Did he have them?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure when he assaulted the satellite, he had little tentacles like hacking into it.
I'll take.
And I think that's where Prime got the idea to have Soundwave with tentacles from. To be fair, since they tried to ape some of the aspects of the movie.
This might be a bold claim.
It might be.
But I think Prime did it better.
That's not a bold claim. I was saying it might be because I thought you were going to say something controversial, but then you said something that's not. You just said a fact in my eyes. But yeah, the magnet, it's shown with a drill bit on the end and a screw. So if you have a screw and a drill bit, you can attach them onto the end of these things. It's
can you repair stuff?
Or not. It's your choice.
I want to repair
I'm guessing
stuff. I want to like drill a hole.
Oh no. These have like I imagine they're just like cables, your posable kind of cables, so they'll hold poses and stuff.
Yeah.
They're fine. It's not an amazing kit, but it gives a bit more playability. Maybe it would have been good to have this on a Prime Soundwave or something. I don't know.
It doesn't look good in storage in the satellite mode.
No, I think they're trying to ape the idea that it's wrapping around the actual satellite.
I'm assuming that's a metal wire in there.
Yeah.
So I'd be very, 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 very nervous about having it in that and then unfolding it into other positions or something like that.
Yeah, agreed. But it's fine for the other thing, like him hacking into the double dealer rocket, stuff like that. It's neat enough. I wouldn't say it's that impressive, but it's like, yeah. Right,
I hear
fine.
that toy's bad.
What, the double dealer?
No, the Soundwave.
Oh, the Soundwave, yeah. I heard that too. I heard the double dealer was a bit disappointing as well because the mushroom pegs for the thighs have a tendency to come apart. Like, not break, but the legs will just kind of come away from there for some reason, which is a bit of a bummer. So maybe if a company does leg fillers for them, you can plug that hole up and stop the legs falling
They
off.
might have to do whole legs, or whole thighs, rather.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the process. I haven't got the figure, so I couldn't say. I'll take this one as well. Actually, the next two, because they're both Trojan. Trojan Horse Studios show off Buffalo MPCV Dinobot prototype. That's a weird name.
It's the vehicle.
The vehicle.
Mine something vehicle.
Oh,
it's Bone Crusher from the. Remember Bone Crusher?
Yeah. Okay. Right. So yeah, this Dinobot. I assume this means Dinobot from Beast Wars. Dinobot transforms into a powerful mine-protected buffalo vehicle, which is the thing Mikey mentioned just now, which many fans should remember, blah, 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 Bone Crusher 2007 movie, which is what Mikey just said. Very unique design. I actually thought this was a combiner at first when I saw it, but yeah, looking at it closely...
You're so conditioned.
pretty much, and it wasn't that kind of beige color, so everything kind of mushed together. I'm guessing the idea behind this, oddly enough, was the bot concept.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, because he
from
turned...
whatever year.
Cybertron Long Rack, wasn't he? Or Cybertron, like, there was another toy who was it, but I only remember it was Long Rack.
Was it Long Rack? Maybe.
Yeah. Also,
was it not Armada's Smokescreen? He was.
No, I don't know who it was, but
the
toy was. I remember in Cybertron it was released as Long Rack.
Oh right, okay, yeah. I think it was based on the Smokescreen upgrade from Armada. You know, when he turned into a bulldozer, like Scavenger, like that.
Take your word for it.
I think so, but yeah, it to me it seems like it's based off of that idea, which is that. Hey, it's an interesting way to go. I would never have pegged anyone to do a Dinobot that one wasn't a dinosaur and two seemed to be based off of a bot concept. So you like Dinobot, Mikey. I know you like planting mines. So what do you think of this?
It's explosive. I like the head sculpt a lot. I want to see a better picture because we don't even have we don't have a very good image of the robot mode.
No.
But he looks fairly articulated. He looks chunky, and yeah, like I said, I really like the head sculpt. I want to see more. Like, want to see him in a bit more of a, as I burp, a bit more of a production quality, shall we say?
Well, one that is seemingly in more of a production quality. We find out who the company is who's making what I assume is the same line. We make works. We make works. There you go. They show off the TH-01 Trojan Horse helicopter Waspinator. I assume they're the same thing because they're both under the Trojan Horse name. Yeah, it seems like they're at least related in that aspect. We have colored prototype images of this Waspinator. It's an original design based on, apparently by fan art on Instagram, which is the user's name is @theamazing Spino. All right, cool. The concept recreates Waspinator into a Sikorsky.
I just thought they turned it to Sikorsky.
Sikorsky S-97 Raider helicopter.
Yeah.
It's a helicopter. I don't know. Fuck. What's it say about it? The figure is about Voyager scale, apparently, and we have images of him posing next to a leader Optimus Prime, a movie leader Optimus Prime of some description. We see the helicopter mode in a prototype form, uncolored. A flesh-colored prototype of Waspinator, and then a painted colored version of him as well. Not in a lot of poses, probably because it's a prototype, and if you touch it too much, it will explode. So how does this one float your boat then, Mikey? Do you feel good about this one?
The legs are a bit long, is my takeaway.
Okay,
overall, I actually think it looks kind of neat. But I'm checking, just because I checked the Instagram and it wouldn't actually load.
Oh, no.
I'm checking out the amazing Spino. Right. And he's an inventive chap, if nothing else.
Okay.
I'm sending it to Andy.
Oh, no, is it porn?
No, Andy, I wouldn't send you porn.
Yes, you would.
But he's very much because I've seen his stuff before.
Oh.
Now that I think about it, because he does some paleo art and stuff like that.
Oh yes, you sent me Paleo Idol.
yes, this is his thing. One of his things, but he did a sort of like Sans Mesozoica. It was like a game concept, I think it was.
Oh,
But he's
okay.
also got like some Transformer concepts, and there's a really nice one of like Shockwave turning into a Spinosaurus.
Oh, cool.
Like,
Okay.
that looks really good. So someone make that.
I was going to say, so what you're saying is you hate these because they're not the dinosaur ones that you've seen. And
Yes,
would
these are the
prefer.
worst toys ever made.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair,
Um,
unbiased viewpoint on the internet, as all of them are. I will say on the coloured prototype, I'm guessing they haven't given him the right coloured translucent plastic, because on the flesh-coloured one, they've given him like a pink translucent colour for his eyes and for his windows, and on the... I don't think there's actually any translucent plastic on the coloured one, which is probably why his eyes aren't popping. So if you've seen that, his eyes, I guess, are meant to be pink, but I'm not entirely sure. I think
he
okay.
draws Marine.
He draws what?
Marine.
Oh, wow. HoloLive, it gets everywhere.
It is everywhere.
It is everywhere. There you go.
Which is probably where the whole paleo idol idea came from, actually.
Probably.
But, I'm looking at his concept where, you know what? Do you know what? He's got a concept picture of these Transformers, and we can see, if I share this with you, we can see what Dinobot would look like, and some other ones that are possibly coming down the line.
Oh, cool.
Because he's working with
Are
this
they all
company.
Beast Wars related?
No, they are not.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So we've got Dinobot, who, like, that. If that's a color breakdown, I like that. But there's also...
Oh, yeah, that does work well.
There's Barricade, Pterosaur. According to his Twitter, the black one at the top is Six Shot.
Which one?
The one that's next to Pterosaur.
Oh, that's Six Shot. Okay,
Apparently.
Interesting.
Overlord and Tarn.
Yeah.
Who's very purple.
It looks like he's decided that Overlord is just going to turn into the stealth bomber rather than both, or just the tank. So I think that the decision was made to make it easier, which makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, depending on how Waspinator turns out, like, I would not say no to seeing some of these designs made.
No, they're interesting again, and it's characters that you don't see often plucked out and used for third-party designs at the very least.
Yeah.
So again, it's something.
He's got
apart
a
from
ton
Overlord.
of designs. Like, hey, get creative, guy.
Yeah, why not?
Transformer Marine. There you go.
Oh no, danger! Yeah, bye.
That's its alt mode. Just the word you buy.
Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next bit of news then?
Yeah, so part of this was sort of official newsy news, and part of this was from Wonderfest Shanghai. We have a ton of statues coming from Azorsi Studios. We've also got some extra statues, we've got some model kits, and we've got some action figures. So I'll start with the statues, and these are a series of very stylized IDW statues, to be completely honest. The first one we saw was Optimus, who's very clearly designed after the Don Figueroa design from the IDW run. Including references to, like, John Barber's story, because he's got a little planet coming out of his arm, which is a scene from the comics, and he's holding Galvatron's head, which is also a scene from the comics. And it's very clearly Andrew Griffith's Galvatron. Very, very clearly. But yeah, this is super, super stylized. It can open up with its chest can open up, and there's a matrix inside. It has multiple poses, one with a blaster pointing down, one with the right arm can come with a couple of swords. And yeah, the chest opens up to reveal a fully painted and detailed matrix. Hey, I think if you're a statue guy, this is awesome. I think the design is super, super cool. I think it's so lovely to have something that references something John and Andrew did.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Because it's rare enough.
It's rare. To be fair, it's rare for any of the IDW stuff to be touched. I mean, we have had a bit of a push with the Alex Milne stuff for what's it called? MMC, Mastermind Creations. But apart from that, none of the other artists have really had anything done. There
was a lot of talk, like SXS was supposed to be doing a Nautica, but they never did.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that.
And I was looking forward to that.
You know who we've never had? I'm smiling when I say this. A Node.
We definitely have not had a Node, and I know loads of people would love to buy a Node.
Let her burn. Let her burn.
Give me Lug. I'll take Lug.
Yeah, I like Lug.
She's fine. Lug did nothing wrong.
Nope.
Lug is a lovely lady. Anode's a bitch.
Terrible.
I really don't like Anode as a person.
No.
Has that ever come across in this?
Maybe once or twice. It's been subtle though. I've usually edited around it.
So yeah, we've also got the Azor C Starscream, who again has an IDW vibe to him, but has more of an original take. The wings are definitely different. And his statue is kind of him landing on what looks like a Cybertron, actually. A bit of Cybertron. But yeah, his accessories include a crown, and he's got missiles firing everywhere. It's going to be 79 centimeters tall, will feature lights and, a crowned head. So these are going to be a decent size. He's actually bigger than the... Oh, no, I see. The Optimus is 95 centimeters at the top of the blaster and 75 centimeters at the top of the head. So I'm assuming Starscream's a bit taller because of how he's standing, and he's got a bigger base.
Mm.
And we also had an interesting one, which was, hey, it's the Revenge of the Fallen style bludgeon.
Yeah.
They are a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is again a highly stylized version, really playing up the samurai motif, and giving him a jaw that could cut through glass. And he appears to be standing upon the head of Trypticon.
Yeah, it's detail intensive, shall we say?
We see a better picture of him actually in the
Wonderfest
the Wonderfest pics, and he's very big.
All of these things are like stupidly massive. I can't imagine how much these are going to cost.
Many monies, but yeah, this is very tall, and yeah, he's like, there's going to be like clouds and stuff all over him.
You know what it actually reminds me of, and I don't know whether this is what they're going for. The outro sequence to Dragon Ball Z, you know, when Goku's running across the clouds, or the intro sequence. Reminds me of that.
Yeah.
He jumps on Shenron's head. Whee!
We've also got Six Shot, who is referencing Headmasters in his case, because he is ripping Ultra Magnus apart.
Yep.
And he comes with little smaller versions of all his alt modes, except the Wing Wolf.
Yeah, at first I thought it was actually a transforming figure. But I'm guessing that's not the case.
Yeah. We only see him in prototype phase, so we don't know what his accessories are, but it looks like he might have a Decepticon emblem as well. He's got swords and a gun. And then there is Tarn. Tarn's in there as well. He comes with a version of the Pet. Spoilers if you want to know who that is. And he's just got bits of everyone, but I think he's got Kaon's head.
It's hard to tell because it's in the one color.
Yeah, it's not a great color and it's not a great shot. No. But like the Pet is coming on basically a mound of skulls.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, more Tarn representation. Tarn's awesome, so I ain't complaining about that. And the last one is Windblade, who is in the Super Anime I Is an Anime Lady version, kind of taken from some of the exaggerating some of the proportions from some Alex covers would be what I'd say.
That's fair, but then with the like movie Bumblebee detail.
Yeah.
Lots of Greeble on all of these things.
Yeah, really stylized wings.
I do like the wing designs a lot. I think they're really nice.
And good face sculpt. I really like her face. And I have no idea who she's attacking. Because she's got two swords and she's fighting some sort of robot dragon?
Is it not movie Laserbeak?
No, the head's wrong. It's got an actual face.
And
he doesn't have the VTOLs. Like, I thought it was like a terror con. Yeah, but it's a dragon. It's not a bird. And the only dragons I can think of, I'm thinking like Beast Hunters or something like that.
Or like Deathsaurus, and it's too small for Deathsaurus.
Yeah. And like, what dragon do you associate with Windblade?
Well, yeah, none of these. This design just... Yeah, it's odd. It's a weird choice. I don't know who I'd have her killing, but...
Don't know. Starscream, to be honest.
Or I suppose you could go with, if you want to go down the Cyberverse route, you could have given her Hailstorm.
Or Bludgeon.
Or Slipstream, sorry, not Hailstorm, Slipstream.
But Slipstream would be good. But I like how she is by far, she is the anime girl, sexy version. And in the background, there's a bunch of people in masks just looking in this direction. They're outside the Tamashii Nation booth, and it's all like, oh.
To be fair, though, when you look at Bludgeon, he's very big and chunky, and so all of the robots. So you could say they're prime male kind of pushing. Like if they were male sculpts, there'd be muscles popping out everywhere.
Prime is groin thrusting in the direction of the issue.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing it out because that picture is very funny. Just like, look away, men! Look away!
Is this why they're all blurred out, so that you don't see them all looking at the prime dick?
They're all just licking him.
Oh no.
Before we go on to anything else, what do you think of this? These statues.
Like, they're in an aesthetic that isn't for me. Like I say, it's very, very greebly. But it's interesting to see these over-stylized things, and I will, from my point of view, they are very over-stylized. Bludgeon's, like, if you looked at Bludgeon's face, if it wasn't a Japanese helmet, a samurai helmet, you wouldn't know that's Bludgeon. That jawline is just not Bludgeon at all. It's an interesting take, though. I'll give it that. The Windblade, again, is nice. Like you said, the head design is really good. But again, there's just too much greeble for my liking. It's like she's, if you would, naked, and she needs the rest of her front plating kind of attached to her, so
you know what she's
her
really
vitals
missing?
aren't exposed.
She's missing the cockpit in the chest. In the center of the chest.
Ah, that's true, actually.
Because, whether official art or fan art or whatever, whenever someone gives her boobs, she's usually got the cockpit separating them.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I think, because there's like a little divot there instead, and I was thinking about, like, something's missing, and I just realized what it was when I was saying it. There's also a video showing that there was someone at the convention in a full suit of that Optimus design.
Oh, wow, really? That's impressive.
Like, I'm just watching it now. He's, like, moving, like, he's doing the whole talk to the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, glowing eyes, like, LEDs, whole kit and caboodle, working hands.
Huh.
Really, really cool.
That's neat. I mean, I feel bad for the guy in the suit, because I bet that was a bit of a hellish thing to wear, but hey, good for them, I guess.
Yeah. Statue-wise, we've also got... What else have we got? We have got an XM Studios Nemesis Prime, who is a somewhat oddly proportioned Nemesis.
Yeah, not to the degree of the other ones that we've just talked about, though, but...
No, but he's bending weirdly.
He is, that's true.
I think is he G1 or is he Bumblebee?
I'd say maybe Bumblebee. Maybe just because of the proportions, maybe that's what they're going for. But if you put a gun to my head and told me to really make it sure...
Yeah.
No, it must be G1. I think... it has to be a stylized G1. It has to be.
I don't know. But he's got, like, a lot of greebly detail. Like,
and
his
he's
shoulders.
standing on a Unicron bits?
Yeah, seems to be. And he comes with a little vehicle mode as well as an accessory.
That's a weird accessory for these statues, to give them, like, an alt mode as an extra statue. It's a nice idea, though, I suppose.
Yeah, no. As long as they're happy, I suppose. But we've also got the Trumpeter Bumblebee movie and Last Night model kits. So we heard about these ages back, and I'd completely forgotten about them.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But these are small model kits that are going to be done for several characters. I believe at one point Shatter was listed here. I don't honestly remember. But yeah, we get a colored Bumblebee who looks like he's coming with accessories like a face mask and some guns. We also get prototypes of Blitzwing, Wheeljack, Optimus. That's still Blitzwing. I don't think that's Starscream. Soundwave and Ravage. Shockwave. Last Night Bumblebee and Optimus. Bumblebee Brawn and RC. These are all posable model kits, so I don't know anything about Trumpeter. I don't know if they've got any rep in the OWL model kit circuit. Trumpeter. I've never heard of them before. Have you?
No, I assume they're probably a China-only place, or at least a new one, potentially.
Let's Google, see what comes up.
Because like you, I've never heard of
Trumpeter China. Yeah.
Oh, I was right there,
Wonderland, but they have stuff in Wonderland models. What have they done before? I feel like they're probably doing vehicles. Yeah, their stuff is generally military vehicles and stuff like that.
Okay, so it'll be the first time kind of shifting over to posable things.
Can be risky.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we've also got busts of the Dark Moon, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Optimus.
They're fucking huge.
Yeah. These are, you'd need a house for these, and like they come with lights and stuff like that. We've also got a statue of We've got the YOLO Park Optimus Prime, which is the huge, fully posable YOLO Park exclusive Optimus Prime figure, which is a monster, which will probably cost more than God.
I don't know. It won't cost more than those busts, but it'll be expensive at least.
I think the price is very, 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 very high. I think it's like 800 or 900.
See, I'm thinking those busts are easily going to break 1,000 though.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
We got the Prime one.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not sniffing at the price of the YOLO. Definitely not.
Looking down as I realize my mic is now auto adjusting the volume, so this is going to be fun.
No.
New setup, kids. But yeah, Prime 1 Studios also have a Bumblebee movie Optimus and a Dark of the Moon Megatron statue. I think we've seen them before. And we end on the 3-0 War for Cybertron figures, which is the Optimus Megatron we've seen before, and a Bumblebee movie Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. So for anyone who doesn't know, 3-0 do like super high-end posable figures. So this is the most high-end Akane Shingo you can get.
It's not the best one.
No. But this is definitely the most. This is the version of Akane that will cost you the most if you're buying one.
Yeah.
So anything here? Anyway. I think after this, you're like buying an actual person.
But if you were going to ask me if any of those things interested me, no, none of them, I'm afraid. They're just not my cup of tea. It's all very much the stylized Bumblebee movie look, which everybody knows, said it so many times, ain't for me. So, but it'll be a good option for those out there who are looking for those things. And they look fine for what they're doing, I guess.
Yeah, no, they look good for what they are. It's just not something I'd really flip out about, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, that's it for the news, really, Andy.
We all done,
son.
Oh my god. Well, Mikey, what you been up to this week? What you done for fun, apart from not have a broken hand?
Still have a broken hand.
That's true. Not as broken, though. Not as broken.
Yeah. I had a plan to do a lot of TV watching during the week, and it just like slipped away from me because I actually started school again.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I'm learning a few new skills, so I've got a lot less time than I thought I did. Yeah, like entertainment-wise, what did I do? I got a new computer, which is kind of the biggest purchase of the week. So it's custom built. It's not particularly breaking the bank in terms of specs, but I wanted something a bit, because I'll be doing a lot of work in it, so I wanted something with basically the specs to turn on Word without Word taking 5 minutes.
Yeah, I imagine it'll probably help render out the podcast a bit faster as well, because that always took quite a while to do, if I remember.
Yes,
didn't it?
I was doing some practicing earlier on. Not big clips, but they were very quick.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be a bit quicker. But yeah, so I've got that all set up. Dual monitor system. I can play some games off Steam, nothing high end, but I can play some games now. So I will probably be doing that, not just stuck with the visual novels anymore. Which I enjoy. It's just I would like other options. Like there's platformers on there I'd like to try at some point.
Oh, what platformer?
I haven't decided yet. Just like the genre. I like platformers, and they're not really as present on other, like on consoles, unless you go with the Crash 4, what came out this week, doesn't it?
Yeah, that looks good. I hear good things about it.
Yeah, so I've got the setup. I've decorated it as appropriate, so it's just like the desk is kind of representing me at the moment. So I've got a skull, an Android, Shockwave, the Crossbone, a Jurassic Park Jeep, a dinosaur toot, and
Hey!
So, which I can now reach for again because it was stuck behind everything else. Also got a new desk to put all this on.
Yeah, so I saw the desk. I thought it looked very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
did you have to build it, or did it just come as a piece?
By the way, building one-handed is an experience.
Yeah, I imagine it's a bit of a pain.
Yeah, especially when you're in a quarantine zone and no one can help.
Well, to be fair, the people that could have helped you, I don't think you would have wanted helping you.
Just crushes my mother underneath it.
I need to buy a new desk at some point as well. I'm probably going to try and get one of those L-shaped ones.
Yeah, they're nice.
I'm just trying to figure out like how tall. Like, I don't want to get it too much taller than the one I have at the moment. And most desks, like the current thing I'm using at the moment, is about 25 inches or so, and most of them are about 30 inches. So. Yeah, and I don't want to have my couch shunted out too far into the middle of the room. Because the room here has like multiple exits, because there's a conservatory behind me, there's a double door in front of me which goes to the living room, and then there's on the other wall there's the kitchen door. So there's very little actual like room in a lot of things to place things without them just being in the middle of the room.
What else did I do? I got some figures.
Oh,
I can't do anything with them, but I do have them. They're sitting outside.
You can look at them. You can kiss them.
I mean, I don't think Optimus would appreciate that.
Oh, that's the best part.
Just lick it. So yeah, I got a figure or a kit rather, that I have no idea if it's official or not. So this is the Topium Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. Which is a chibi Optimus Prime. Can you imagine why I bought one?
No.
Because there must always be two. So she needs the buddy on my desk.
Fair.
So yeah, I haven't tried building it. Obviously, I tried basically during the week. I had some runners lying around, so I tried cutting them with my clippers, or my nippers rather, and I nearly started crying.
Oh,
so no. I figured maybe. Don't do anything with your hands. I also tried like hand swapping my God Gundam, and no luck. Couldn't even take off the hands. So this is like, there's a Topium Optimus Prime which is official, which is based off of a garage kit from 2011, 2013.
Okay.
But I don't know if the Shattered Glass version is official or was like, okay, we're just gonna get the money we can out of it. What are they gonna do to stop us?
Right.
Which is a thing. It happens. But this guy has LEDs for the eyes if you don't want to put stickers over him. He's got quite a few stickers, but I might just, paint over him. But yeah, like, I'm looking forward to building him when I get a chance. I mean, I like the way he looks in Le Pictures. And I also got Nicey.
Ooh, fucking degenerate.
I've been a degenerate longer than you've known me. The big
true.
Firebird Nicey. I made a promise. That promise was, this thing is fucking insane. And after all my bitching about G1, I might as well own something crazy.
Sure.
So I have looked at her. I haven't done anything with her, and I probably won't for a few weeks.
Wow, what a way to phrase that.
I knew what I was saying.
Okay.
So she's basically sitting outside in a box and will stay there for a while until I can actually use my hands again. But I have to admit, just like quick hand feel, it's pretty impressive.
Did you poke a rubber boob?
Yeah, I have to own up to something. A rumor came out about a year ago that Nicey would have rubber boobs.
Yeah, we didn't think it would happen.
No, I did research at the time and I couldn't find any source for it. So I thought, okay, this is a rumor that's spread around. It turns out she does come with rubber boobs as a swappable accessory. So she comes with a hard plastic cleavage, and you can swap it for rubberized cleavage, which I did not know. I don't really feel the need to engage in it, partly because why, and partly because we all know what happens to rubberized plastic if you play with it too much.
Yes.
As people who bought a bunch of female Figmas and figure arts and stuff like that in the mid-2000s will have learned.
I think they were Revoltex, weren't they? At least the Yoko that Vangelis had.
Yeah. I wonder if Queen's Blade had that. I bet it did.
Oh, I must have.
No, before anyone says, no, I'm not buying a Queen's Blade figure. I never liked them.
Yeah, no one liked that show.
The show was well known for two things, and they were on everyone's chest.
Yeah, I was going to say none of them were story writing a character.
Yeah, because I actually tried to get through the first season, and it's one of those things I've always said I'll go back and try again, because it went on for years.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many seasons, and it was just like, okay, we're just being, pushing the boat. Anyone, I'm not shocking any story, any character, no. Anyway, but yeah, Nicey, like, a lot of diecast. I'm very curious because like the pictures I've seen are kind of insane at what she can do posing wise.
Yeah, she can do a lot, it seems.
Like,
A
so
hell of a lot.
Yeah, and people seem really, really happy with her as a figure, so I'm very, very curious. It is like getting me on my eye. My eye is getting on the rest of Big Firebird stuff because they've got the Combiner coming out, and they've got their sort of like retro future military robot line as well.
I wish that jet that they're doing had a different styled head, because I just don't like the head on it, but everything else looked pretty cool about it.
Yeah, and I know they've got at least one or two other figures in that line.
Yeah, they've got that T-Rex that we saw ages ago as well, but we haven't seen since.
But I'm very, very curious. Like, honest, like I don't know if I'd buy all the Combiner parts, but one of the figures I think might be nice.
Okay, just as a tester kind of thing.
Yeah. You could get the little weird 2-pack of the sisters, whatever the fuck they are. Apparently it's been confirmed Windblade is coming, by the way.
Oh, nice, good.
It won't be Windblade because
it's fine. Doesn't matter.
The head will be different. I'm sure some aspects of the body will be changed quite a bit as well, because it's kind of a not very well kept secret that they got told they couldn't use the RC head.
Yeah.
So there's actually a lot of people coming out with like 3D printed RC heads at the moment.
Yeah, I've seen. They look okay. I kind of like the Nicey head more.
I don't need her to be RC.
Both of us were like, "Hey, the magical girl head was our choice anyway." So
she's a magical girl. She's a Pretty Cure. She's like that Pretty Cure live action series from the early 2000s, which was trying so very hard.
Yeah.
But no, I'm curious. Like, I want to get hands on with her, but I honestly, I think as an action figure, it's probably gonna be pretty decent.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, like if the Windblade comes out, like definitely gonna be having my eye out. Apart from that, it was mostly a bit of gaming again. I've got my movement in my fingers back, so I did some gaming. I did online Ark for a bit.
Okay.
For about 5 days, and then I uninstalled Ark.
Oh, why?
Because I realized I was basically just killing time trying to find reasons to keep playing it.
Oh. You weren't actually enjoying it, would you say?
No, Ark is a good game. It's undeniably a good game. It's got very good mechanics, very good system. And the online, I didn't like it at first, but it was okay. I didn't really feel a need to ever interact with anyone.
Antisocial Mikey.
Well, the game doesn't punish you. Like, I don't feel like, because I was just playing on like beginner servers, and the game had nothing in there to say like, okay, you've hit a wall, you need to team up with someone. Like, which I think it really should have.
Okay.
I think the structure for online should be like, okay, you can do so much, but no matter what you do, you're always going to need a partner. But I think the online, like with friends, would be really, really fun. But at the moment, I don't know anyone who plays it. They certainly wouldn't, and like anyone I know who play it would play it on PC.
Yeah.
And it's just like I was just sitting there. It became such a time sink at times, and I realized I was just like it was just being used as an excuse not to do anything in my free time.
Okay.
Like I could be catching up on shows or doing some reading or whatever. So I decided like, okay, I'm going to uninstall Ark. It's there if I ever want to download it again. Like, I'm sure they're going to come out with something there of interest for me. We'll see. Like, I'll worry about that some other time. So I uninstalled it. I did, however, get hold of 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim from Atlas and Vanillaware. So this is something I've been watching for a good few years now. So it's a game developed by by Vanillaware, who did Odin Sphere. Have you ever heard of that?
No, actually, no.
So it is a side-scrolling action RPG. Originally on the PS2, got a HD remake, a re-release rather, on PS3, and it's up there on PS4 as well. I've been meaning to buy it, actually. It's on sale at the moment. I might pick it up. And I friggin' loved it. It's I think it's 4 playthroughs you have to do, but really simple but enjoyable combat style and very, very well written story. And yeah, when they announced a few years ago they were doing an RTS with Mecha, I was kind of curious, so I've been waiting on this. So this came out there last week, and I picked it up, and I've been playing through the prologue all week. I'm very curious to see where this goes. Basic story, and it's actually really, really, really hard to talk about the basic story because this is non-linear storytelling. So I've only got bits and pieces of, like, because I think some of, like, the actual gameplay bits of the tutorial, I think those are taking place towards the end of the story. I think. I'm nowhere near sure. Some sort of robotic kaiju from possibly the future, or possibly another planet, or possibly another dimension, or maybe some sort of talking cat, have appeared, and you are controlling Sentinels, which are mecha, which are in an RTS game, or an RTS style rather, piloted by one of 13 characters. You'll have multiple characters on the field at one time. Different mechs have different abilities. You've got to protect the things. Interesting visual thing they've done is that the actual RTS thing is very, very basic. But if you want to see what your Sentinel looks like, you go into like moves and stuff like that. And there's like, they play little cinematics of what each move does. But like, you're on screen, you've got like pictures and explosions. You don't see the mechs themselves. Yeah. The narrative is about these characters who come from at least 3 time frames. The main story is set in 1985, but yeah, there's 3 time frames involved. Whatever I thought it was going to be when I started playing the prologue, by the time I got to it, and it's a 7-part prologue because you play with 7 different characters. Yeah, I don't know where this story is going. I have no idea. It's clearly juggling a lot of balls in the air. And the way the gameplay looks to be set out, because I just finished the prologue last night, is you've got like a combat section and a story section as separate parts of the game. And you can just play through one and then play through the other. So I'm very, 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 very curious with this one. I think it's very interesting. But yeah, and like a fantastic visual style. I cannot praise it enough. I really, 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 really can't.
I looked to see if it was on Steam, and it wasn't. Like,
no, it's PS console exclusive anyway. I think it's just PlayStation.
Is it on disc, or is it only DLC? Not DLC, download.
I downloaded, but I think it's disc.
Okay.
But no, I'm very curious. I don't know if I'm going to recommend it. I'm not an RTS player. It's not usually something I do.
It's real time as well, you say?
Yeah. So you've got like different modes, and I'm playing on medium mode at the moment, which means when you select people, it does pause, but like harder modes, I think it just goes on, you know?
Yeah, I would always recommend with console games to do turn-based rather than real-time, just because the consoles are not designed for real-time shit.
Tell that to Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also, because of you, picked up Code Vein since I put it down there about 7 months ago, where I started playing. When I started playing it, was enjoying it, and completely forgot about it because I think Final Fantasy 7 pushed it out of my brain. And then I never went back, and it was no fault of the game, so I decided, like, I should probably play this. So I basically used the same character I'd built before, who is Steampunk. Her code name is Punk. Mm-hmm. And yeah, playing through that in the single player at the moment. Yeah, so apart from that, TV-wise, not a lot. One major thing, but not a lot major. The biggest thing, of course, is the final episode of the first half of ReZero, which is so clearly not meant to be split up with 3 months between them.
Yeah. You know what this is, Mikey? This is the Netflix 2 seasons fiascos.
Oh, I feel like it's just.
But at least there's a logical reason for why there is a split. You know, the whole coronavirus thing. Yeah, fair enough. They were good enough to get us out as much as they did.
Yep. And yeah, real good episodes.
The show's so fucking dense.
There's
so much stuff every episode.
Subaru is one of my all-time favorite protagonists because he is by far one of the most real, genuine protagonists that I think speaks on so many levels to men and women across the world who have a lot of self-doubt and self-love issues.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that Subaru, no matter what he says, really doesn't believe anyone is ever going to say they love him or like him or anything. Like, to the point where even when he had, like, the one thing that grounds him constantly is Rem, because she's the one thing that got through to him.
Yeah.
And even then he fights it. And I love what they did with the witches. I love they kind of just wiped away the whole build up, like, they're evil monsters, and just, like, they don't see the world the way everyone else does.
Which in a
They're
sense
not-
does make them kind of
Yeah.
evil, but not
Well, like they're
outright
amoral.
deliberate.
I would put
Yeah.
them. I would put like
That's fair.
because they're not actively trying to harm the world, but they don't belong in it any more than Subaru does.
But then you say that, and the Witch of Gluttony clearly didn't mean to make horrible monstrosities,
But she
have
did.
made 3 horrible monstrosities.
And she
so
doesn't really care. But,
yeah,
or like Echidna, like I'll let you die 1,000 times over because I'm curious. But
yeah.
it's genuinely non-malicious. That's the fascinating thing about them. They don't want to harm anyone. They don't go out of their way to do people harm. They just don't care.
That kind of aspect to them kind of makes them, in a sense, the same kind of feelings that an elder god would have in Lovecraft mythology. They're not outright evil, but just them doing things kind of fucks with people's lives horrifically.
And of course, every single one of them, in some way, is drawn to Subaru because of who he is. Because he's a very magnetic person, even if he doesn't realize it. And we have Satella. We see Satella, and we get hints of what might be coming with her. And I am really leaning towards the theory I told you about on Twitter.
I don't think it's that much of a theory. I think it's like very obvious that's kind of
I know, but
where
like
they go in.
you need time travel and shit for this to work.
Like we don't know how powerful the witches are. To be fair,
Yeah,
so it seems very possible.
I mean, I don't really want to go that direction because that's fucking tragic. But
that's also assuming that this isn't all a repeat anyway. That Subaru's death thing didn't die at the end and was shunted all the way back to when he first appeared in the world.
Or Subaru's in a coma.
Oh no,
that's something like from the episode before because we didn't get to talk about it.
Mm.
I'd never really considered the idea of multiple timelines. I just figured it was just like reset, restart. They don't confirm, by the way, that there are multiple timelines in ReZero. They just introduce the idea of what if.
It could be a haha fuck you when it doesn't actually happen or it's actually a thing.
And we've no confirmation. And I found when they introduced the idea like very interesting because again it just tied into how much value Subaru puts in himself a lot of the time.
It was an interesting idea, but I kind of boiled it down to practicality's sake of, well, shit, you got to say fuck that world effectively, and you got to move on because you're not. Sometimes he dies and it's not his choice, but sometimes he does die and it was his choice, but sometimes it was for a reason.
And I also like that they do really confront the idea that he's becoming, as much as he does, like he's terrified of that, but it's becoming his escape. In
a sense, yeah.
But I love when they just have the bit where you're like, I don't want to die. Like, it's not where I get super tough and I've learned to live with it. It fucking sucks.
Oddly enough, they keep trying to tell him that his life does have value, and I'm like, well, that's a very nice message, but it doesn't have value because he can just keep coming back to life. So in that sense, his life doesn't have value, so he is the one who is allowed to die in a lot of ways.
So are you saying he should have gone with Echidna?
No, because that leads to a very dark road where who knows what she's fucking after in the end, but...
She seems to like him. She just sort of comes out and says, okay.
She does. She's like, I'm a girl and I think you're pretty hot. And he's like, what the fuck does that even mean for you? What does that even fucking mean? That's just why I wouldn't trust her. But in terms of like, if he can die to learn something new to stop people from dying, then... It's a nice the way the anime phrases it is a very nice way to do it, but from a practicality standpoint, I
suppose the point is like his life does have value because his life is ultimately now his mind.
Yes,
and you should not be willing to torture yourself, and he is a man very, 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 very willing to torture himself.
But he's willing to torture himself to try and save the people he cares about.
True, but he does it in part because he puts value on them, but puts no value on himself, which I believe is Satella's point.
Yeah,
you're saving people, but no one's saving you.
But you could see salvation in saving those around you. Like you save the ones that can't be saved, and then you can worry about yourself afterwards. I guess the only problem is there's always something new. But I think
and also this is a really fucking deep show. Where you could have like many debates about. I love it,
and it's a lot about the theme. It's like the theme versus a bit more of. You're arguing, I think, from the standpoint of the theme of the show, where I'm standing by the just get it done.
Super falling your
unfortunately,
sword.
just life
Just do
fucking
it.
sucks, and your life at the moment really fucking sucks. But if you don't care about saving these people, then you can have a much easier time. If you want to save them, you're gonna have to fucking suffer to do it, though.
I know there's like a bunch of like side stories of what ifs and stuff like that. Also, there's a ReZero game coming to Steam.
That must be a visual novel, right?
I think it's an RTS.
Really? Oh, interesting. Okay. What's Subaru going to do? Fart a cloud at people?
It's apparently an original story, like not tied
It'd
into
have
the.
to be.
But apparently, there's a lot of for ReZero, a lot of side material, which is like, what if he did this at this time instead?
Oh.
Like I know there's one out there where he's married to Rem with kids. I know.
Oh yeah, you told me that. When we saw that episode, and we were like, "Fuck you."
I think there's one where he agrees to go with Echidna.
That's interesting.
Because I before this, I was like long before I knew what ReZero was, I'd done some reading, and when I heard the name Echidna, that's something that stuck in my head. So I looked back and just like, I think there's a story where he goes along with her.
Okay. What do you think his relationship with Roshu is? Because I think that it's more than that's been said, especially since they share the same eye color.
What, Roswell?
Roswell, that's him.
Yeah. Well, clearly the guy is more than he's been letting on.
Yeah.
I'm very curious. He clearly has something to do with Echidna. Because he's like, I know her. Just like taking it a little far. Like, she didn't hit on you, as far as I know. She hit on him. But yeah, he's up to something, and he's I really like. I didn't like. You don't like it, but I think it was really good. Like, I've lost my ability to go through this, and just like, if I make you more like me, you'll get it back. Because and like the whole reveal of like, I'm putting you in a devil's choice so that you'll make the decision I would make.
Yeah,
which I find fascinating. But yeah, ReZero, please don't go away.
Too bad. It's gonna have to.
Too bad.
And we're gonna have to wait like 3 months or more, probably more.
Well, I've got stuff to watch, so I've got so much to catch up on, and I'm a bit more focused this week because I have to be. So,
bring us in the next year for ReZero, I reckon.
Yeah.
January. Like legit, no joke.
It's January, they said.
Oh well, okay. I hope so, but I don't have faith in it.
It's taken a core off.
Right.
So it's 3 months off coming back. So, yeah, and the other thing was Kamen Rider Saber, and I don't really want to talk about that. I've decided to take a break.
How many episodes did you get through?
4.
Okay, and you're like, oh no. Oh.
I'll let some. I never do this, but I'll let some build up, and then we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's bad if that's what you're doing. That's a bad sign.
Yeah. Andy, what did you get up to?
Well, over the past 2 weeks, I suppose, because we didn't have time last time to talk about it, I did buy some, I was going to say Pokemon, but that's not true. That's not true at all.
I bought myself a Cerebi, and I bought myself... dropped my phone.
No. I thought that was your cat skull. That would have been sad.
I forgot what Pokemon were for a second. I remembered Cerebi, and that was it.
I got some Transformers. I got 2 Alicons, and I got Airwave, the little base builder. The Alicon's really fun. I still think that when you and I complained that you could see its robot hands in its alligator mode, I still think that's an issue. I don't think there's any reason why there couldn't have been a joint to fold away and hide the hands on the inside of the arms. Because on the underside of the arms, it's not a full arm. It's like gappy, and there is a port there for something to peg into. And I don't know what. It doesn't seem like it's anything for the toy. It just seems like you can put something there if you wanted. So to me, get rid of that. Make the hand be able to fold away. Would have made it a lot better. Maybe have the little alligator arms themselves on pegs, so you could unpeg them so they wouldn't be on the robot mode. But apart from that, the articulation in both modes is really fun. The sculpt on the face is good. I've got a Target Master being chomped in half at the moment, so that's fun. And the spears can be held double-handed, barely, but they can be. It's a great little figure. I'm surprised. I don't need more than 2. 2 is more than enough for an army builder. But yeah, I was quite happy with him. Airwave is not a bad base. I think in some ways he looks better, at least in the base mode, than Iron Factory does. But there's something about the robot mode which I can't put my finger on. I don't like. I don't feel it pegs together as well because it's on more pegs. Then Iron Factory, which the way the base connected, or the way it connected at least, the waist to the torso was it had a road piece with the waist on, with basically the hips and pegs for where you'd put on the thigh and lower than that. And you would peg the road part to the back of Ironworks Factory, and it would have 2 or 3 pegs, and then you'd peg another bit of road over the top of that. So it kind of hold that together quite nicely. While with Airwave, it's just 1 peg for the kind of waist joint. So it's not as kind of intricate in that aspect. But I do think it makes a nice little airplane landing bay kind of thing. It's good. It's a great idea. It's a shame that we've only got the 2 molds for them, and that's it. No more bases. I think that's a bit of a bummer. During the week, I paid a ransom fee and got my box from Japan, which contained the Master Grade Barbatos in.
After my shop just got it in the week, and I was like, finally, Andy!
Yeah, you literally messaged me, I think, like a day or 2 days after I'd put in the order for it, or rather confirmed it, because I'd had it bought on HLJ for a while, since probably just before the pandemic, but I was waiting for something else to come into stock to ship it with it. And then the pandemic hit, and it went, oh, the prices are shit. And HLJ went, don't worry, we'll just hold these for you for a while. And then they changed that to, well, you've only got 3 days left. And I went, shit, what do I buy? So I bought the, I don't remember the team names, but I bought the Decepticon Micromasters that are the cars, and the airplane one that has Visper. I can see why people wouldn't like these, because they are quite basic, and Blackjack, I think, is the black car one, is a little bit faffy to transform, but I quite like them. I like the simplicity of them. I think I prefer the cars more because they're even more simplistic than the jets, but they're both quite fun. I did have to throw on some varnish over the ball joints for both jets to kind of tighten their arms and legs up, because they were very loosey-goosey. They were very, very loosey-goosey, so I had to do that, but I enjoy them quite a bit. What else have I got? I've got a new computer screen. I got that today. I've gone basically from 15 inches to 27 inches. Big boy numbers. Big boy numbers. And it's gone from being, I think, like either 50 or 60 hertz to 144 hertz. So again, big boy gamer mode, Andy. So it's nice. I've been playing around with the settings, because as when screens always come, they're on that setting where it's like brightness is like on 80 or more, and my eyes just burn. So I've had to shunt it down to like 20 or 30 brightness, so my eyes don't bleed anymore. And I also got Earthrise Scorponok. This is the complaining part, which I mentioned on Twitter.
The greatest toy.
Here's the thing. I really like Scorponok. I think he's a really good figure. Where's Zarek? There he is. Zarek's a really good figure on his own. He looks like he should do, like from the show. He has a lot of joints, double jointed elbows. He has waist swivel. He has a knee joint. He has ankle tilts. So obviously the best toy ever. That's an old joke. He does a lot of stuff really well, and the way that he transforms into a head is very satisfying. He's like on his own a very good deluxe figure, and the quality of just Headmaster Zarek as well is good. Granted, playing with Scorponok is difficult because he is very big, and he is very heavy, being a Titan figure, so it is hard to swoosh him about. And I have got my fingers jammed in some of his gears a few times for like his knees. Sometimes my fingers have been trying to bend them, and my like the top of my fingers gone in, and I've gone ow as he hurts me. But the issue with mine unfortunately affects 2 of his modes quite dramatically, because mine is missing 2 pieces. Both of them are the chest plates. So as you know, Mikey, the front of Scorponok's chest design, you lift that up.
Yep.
And on the inside should be a grey panel where you can sit down, Zarek, or if not that, for when city mode, it actually completes the look. So without that, he just has a hole in his chest.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that I can do about that. The other thing that's missing is a panel that folds up in the same kind of hole, which you then flip down in Scorpion mode to fill out the bottom. Because obviously in robot mode, the Scorpion legs go inside while that panel's flipped up. But when you have the Scorpion legs out, that panel would come down, like I say, to fill that out. And that's missing as well.
Yeah.
And these are not small pieces. These are two quite large pieces, and for them both to be in the chest area is very annoying. And it's not something, like, I don't know what to do, really. I don't have a lot of options. You'd say, oh, well, you could return it to Amazon and exchange it. That is true, I could. The problem is Amazon doesn't have them in stock anymore, again.
Did you contact Hasbro?
Yeah, I sent you the link to the Hasbro side that I could find. I have had no response as of yet. I've heard from a few people that they take a long time to respond. They didn't give any indication how long it would take.
I know they... Hang on. I know that... Because I know this from... Because I was looking at maybe getting the Lightning Collection Dino Thunder White. And I saw some... Because there's a problem with his head. And I saw someone saying that basically Hasbro UK was being good for getting parts.
Is this the Abakiller?
Yeah.
Is it the fact that the black's not painted on the visor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Gives him a tiny face.
Yeah.
So I saw that, like, Hasbro.new.custhelp.com. That might be the one you went to. But yeah, they were just saying, like, for the topic, as long as you could provide proof of purchase, they were fairly quick.
Right.
So I don't know if this is one you used, and honestly, it's your problem.
Wow, thank you, Mikey. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you've just sent me the thing now. I'll need to check on the link that I sent you that I said I used, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I had to sign up to the website, which I was like, oh, okay, I can't just send you an email. I have to sign up first. Fair enough. So if it was a case of I could just return it back to Amazon and get another one, fine, but it took so long for it to be shipped to me because I'd pre-ordered it, and the first batch came out and went to everybody who pre-ordered earlier than me. And as soon as these came back into stock, obviously I got mine, but boom, he's missing two important pieces. And it's a big bummer because like I say, I really do like the figure, and he is very imposing. And you know, he is, in my eyes, Scorponok's the best Titan of them. Like, Fort Max is a bit boring, especially compared to him. The only mode I think that doesn't work super well is the city mode. And that the only reason I say that is because if you look at the images of the city mode, the way that they work is, instead of like with the original Scorponok toy where you just kind of straighten out the legs, you kind of meant to angle the legs like downwards slightly and then use the knee joint to kind of flatten it out. And it's quite difficult with there's a double ratchet in that knee. So it's hard to line it up perfectly to try and get it to the right flatness level, if you know what I mean, to balance it all out. So I think as well, because he's missing like the tools that the original came with, because on the legs he'd add like a lift, which was a bit shit, but it added something. And then these little mechanical arms for like a repair bay. I think it just makes those legs look more like just sticky out legs than actual parts of the city. But like I say, I very, very happy with it, apart from the fact it's also broken in a lot of ways. And I don't want to just send it back and get my money back and then not get it again because I paid less for it. I paid 116-ish pounds for it instead of 130 something.
Well, if it's missing parts, they have to do it for free, don't they?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, like, they have to replace anything for free. So
they can't exchange it, though, because when you go on the site and you go returns or stuff like that, there is only exchange for another thing or exchange for or change it for your money back. There is no option to replace it, and I think that's because it's out of stock. That's where the problem comes in.
Have you rung Amazon? Because I know it's sometimes better to get on the phone and just make them miserable.
No, I haven't done that yet. I haven't done that. Might be something to do, but again, it would be one of those things of having to go through a lot of extra faff, where I'd prefer them just to send me the spare parts if possible.
Yeah,
you know, it's very irritating. So the only options are basically to wait for Hasbro to phone up Amazon, which is a pain, or like if I wanted to do a dumb, if there was a shop that had it, I'd buy the figure again, take those panels off, and then send the figure back and be like, oh, it doesn't have the panels. Can I have the money back? You know, that would be the other option, because effectively it would still be the same issue.
I was also going to say, like, so you said you'd buy the figure again, take the panels off, and then why don't you just buy the figure again and not take the panels off then?
Because it's not available anywhere.
Yeah, but like I was just saying, your argument was flawed.
Okay,
you a dumbass.
Well, like I say, this is the thing. I don't know when anyone's going to get back in stock because it doesn't look like Smiths is going to get it back in stock.
Mm.
They've had it on their site for a while, and it's now shunted quite far down because they've got the Earthrise, the Kingdom stuff on there. So I don't think they're going to get Scorponok again. And who knows fucking when Amazon's going to get it in again, if they're ever going to get it in again.
Yeah.
So it's partially flawed, but that's kind of the logic behind it, which I think holds up.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Irish site, completely out of stock.
Yeah. It's nowhere. I've checked on what if any stores have it in stock either, and no, it's not in any store in the UK. So yeah, I can
get you Omega Supreme if that helps.
No, I don't want Omega Supreme. He's fucking boring. Bless him.
Yeah.
The only other thing I got was I got a Doggy Kruger from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection because you said it was good, and I was like, oh well, I'll give it a try. I'm kind of interested since I don't have my G.I. Joe figures yet. It is a flawed figure in some aspects, but it is still quite good. I wish it didn't have this modern day kind of rubbery feel to everything.
Yeah, I very much was aware of that.
Which is I don't know why that has become a thing with Western made action figures, but it seems like it's across the board. All Western action figures are now not like hard rubbery plastic, but there is a significant bend that you can do, like to the joints. You can wiggle his knees left and right fairly easily. So it's weird. It's still a good figure. It's got some weird paint up mishaps, but I hear that's again something across the board that a lot of the Power Rangers stuff has, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got decent articulation. He can get fairly decent poses. His sword, unfortunately, did come out of the box very, very bent. But again, I hear that's a thing that happens. And the hands are quite nice and easy to kind of exchange. And this was obviously a lot cheaper of an option than getting the figure art version, which granted would be a lot better in terms of its quality, but also a lot more expensive. Have they not made one yet?
Nope.
Really?
They made the full main 5 SPDs, and I think they made Deca Break, but they did not make Deca Master.
I'm sure
that was one of the reasons this figure was such a big deal.
I was sure they would have made him as like a stupid exclusive or something like that. Odd. Obviously, I don't count the weird reptilian dog head because it's not a real Doggy Kruger,
which is also too small to be the right weird reptilian dog head as well.
Is it technically? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, like his head is huge.
Also, from the looks of it, it's one of the better heads because it's not a human head, and most of those human heads kind of get a little bit scary.
No creepy smile.
Yeah. Some of them look really bad. Some of them look scary. Some of them look fine. I think Jason David Frank ones are deliberately made to look fine and less scary than some of the other ones. It's the ladies that are smiling that are some of the worst ones I've seen. Like they have murder yandere face.
That one of Kat was
that's the one I'm thinking. It's like, Jesus, it doesn't look like her, and she looks like a psycho. Holy crap.
She'll kill us all.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's been up and down, I suppose, in a lot of ways. Things going wrong with the Scorponok figure, which I was excited for, but then pooped on, but then other good things as well. So it's been a weird time. And I've started playing, because I'm still obviously twitching at the moment. I finished off Void Bastards, and I've started Code Vein myself.
What did you think of Code Vein? I watched the character maker bit, but then I went to bed.
Was that the bit that Jason clipped, or was it the bit actually on Twitch?
Yeah, on Twitch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it does have an essence of Dark Souls about it, but it's not as tight as Dark Souls. It's not as slow in a lot of ways. I like some of the concepts about it, like you can on the fly switch what kind of class you are. That's kind of interesting. The character creator is quite nice as well. There's a few options. I'd kind of like, obviously, more faces or more things you could do with the face rather than having just preset faces.
But I'll just say I was watching, there were bits where I was just like, there's stuff in there you didn't engage with, like, you know, the like the facial markings,
right?
There's a set, like everything you put on, like clothes, facial markings, pouches, whatever. There's a setting in there where you can then move that to any part of the body you want it to be on.
Ah, okay.
And then you can change the size, the color individually. Like, there's one where she had like spiders on her cheeks.
Right.
You could make it 2 spiders on a cheek. You could put that on the middle of her face. You could put that over her eye. You could make that cover her whole face. You can move that completely freely around. There's a lot. I've never seen a character creator quite like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of options to it, but also, like I say, I still think that there is a lack of face things you could do with the face itself. Like, there was a selection of 5 face shapes, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And you can obviously you could change the eye, or rather the pupil, but you couldn't really change the eye shape. That was all locked to the face itself.
Yeah.
So it's strange because if you had that as a customizable part as well, that I think that would complete it. But that the character creator is very impressive. It's a lot of fun. I also didn't want to hang around in character creator for too long, because it's not like super interesting to watch a character creator for like an hour or more. It's very edgelordy as well, with the whole like belts and buckles. A lot of early Final Fantasy design to it in some ways, just because of the beltiness. So. Just more of a like hot topic vibe, I suppose. But yeah, I'm probably going to play more of it tonight. I said I was going to do EDF, but I'm like, I want to play more Code Vein, because I only got to play a little bit of the actual game. So I'll probably be doing more of that tonight. Tonight being Sunday. Yay. I think that's everything, because I obviously, like you, watched ReZero and enjoyed that. And it's just been more Star Trek, and Star Trek's fun. Next gen, it's good. Looking about, Scorponok's covering my kitchen, my living room table, so I don't think there's anything else on there that's that he's covering. I have made bits of the Barbatos, but I haven't done a huge amount, because I found that my eyes really hurt now if I try and force them to do building in at night with the current lamp I have. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to strain my eyes for no particular reason. It probably was a bad idea to have been doing it like I had been years ago, in low light situations. I've built one leg, and by built I mean the frame rather than the armor on top of it. I've built the big cannon, and I've put the one piece on the katana, and that's it. It's been taking a while, but it's quite nice. Clearly there is a massive jump in quality between the high grade and the master grade. Also, there's a good few years on them as well, so it's not an entirely fair comparison. Since Iron-Blooded Orphans is a good few years old now. I can't remember exactly when it came out off the top of my head. Maybe like 2013 or something, but it's old. Mikey, we have a little bit of stuff to talk about. We have a message. Oh, I got podcasts done as well. We got the free version of From the Files to Teltran 2 up this week. And the podcast that you did for Patreon with Chris and TJ is up as well on Kamen Rider 01.
Yay!
Yeah, you had fun doing that one?
Yeah, it was interesting. Never had a chance to actually talk to TJ over all the years, so...
Yeah, and it seems like you were a bit less negative on 01 than I thought you might have been.
Well, I don't think it's a bad show. I just think it got kicked in the teeth a bit.
Yeah, maybe. For me, I still definitely put it down as like a 5 out of 10. Like it's average, and it ain't going higher than that. Unless the rest, well, it's higher. It's currently higher than Saber.
It's the top Reiwa series.
Yeah, well, it's either that or Saber, and Saber's a Power Ranger show. So, what can you do? We have a message from Christoph over on the Moonbase. He goes, "Yo, Mikey, there's a new Super Robot show for babies on Boomerang."
Babies!
I thought I was going to say babies on boomers. But it's babies on Boomerang. If you need something to watch with your niece, do you want me to send you the link, or have you already heard of Kingdom Force?
I don't, and I don't have Boomerang, I'm afraid.
Oh no, you got that Boomer. It's something you could probably find on the streaming sites potentially.
Yeah. I can't introduce her to streaming sites yet, like because her mother thinks I'm a fine, upstanding individual.
Oh, you don't want to ruin it just yet.
Yeah. So
okay, ignore that first.
Keep
link,
the illusion of my morality.
There we go. That's a proper link to the trailer, so you can have a looky loo at that and get her into the combining robots. The animal people. We're back on the furries. Hooray!
Always on the furries.
Yay! Yeah, it looks like a weird Power Ranger team, but with animals. Very cute animals doing things. Did we have anything else? I can't remember. We got a message from Tentamon. I'll read this up because I haven't had a chance to read it.
Always the furries.
Always is. I only had time to listen to your great comic pod this week. Luckily, I'd been on a Marvel kick, so let's go! I can see the logic behind making Jen like normal Hulk for her to sub in for him for a while he's off doing the horror stuff, but it's pretty silly. I heard that Immortal She-Hulk is meant to actually be quite good, though, even though it's a one-off, right?
Yeah, it's written, as far as I know, it's written by the guy who's doing Immortal Hulk. So I think it's tonally quite the same. I haven't sat down to it yet, but it's still playing with the idea of like she is more hulky than I'd like.
Yeah, I'd like her to be She-Hulk, not Hulk, or Hulk filler.
Yeah, because like like we said in the show, I think it loses a bit of her identity.
Still, does it help with the OFC that spoiler for Empire? I don't know what that is.
Empire is a
Empire
comic?
spelled EMPYRE.
I think that's a comic.
Okay, I'll leave the spoiler out because just in case it hurts for people. Stuff for the thing. Fun event overall, but I do love Marvel's crazy space stuff. Same. Well, I used to. Same reason I liked War of the Realms, and that's another great Marvel comic. You dudes are missing out on the 2018 version of the Fantastic Four, but that could just be me still having fun with Ben and Alyssa tying the knot, I should say. That's nice. They must have got married at some point. They must have been Peter Parker and MJ'd at some point. Must have been.
Probably, but
that's a smack on the table and a yell finally moment right there. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not. And it ties back into Immortal Hulk, and guess who the puppet master takes control over their honeymoon and ruins it in issue 12. God, the puppet master.
Rick. They take control of Rick.
He's such a shit character, the Puppet Master. I remember him from the 90s show, and I was like, oh, you're just lame.
I'm always fascinated to see some of those, like, them try to bring back old villains and old heroes that were just such terrible ideas.
Sometimes they do something useful with them. I can't remember any examples off the top of my head, but I'm sure I have read some comics.
Boomerang.
Wow.
Is it Boomerang?
Yes.
Boomerang in Marvel got really good because they basically just made him Peter Parker's live-in bastard. And that was really fun. That's a really fun run for Peter to actually read. And it's just a really nice scene where he's really lonely. So you see him playing cards with all his old buddies. Except it turns out they're all like android duplicates. And they start breaking. And he just sort of holds one and starts crying.
Oddly enough, I would say most of the Flash's villains kind of fall into that category. Because they're kind of shitty villains. But they were made to be really good and interesting.
Yeah.
Like Captain Boomerang, like... That's a very golden age kind of comic thing.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Same for Mirror Master. And they're really good characters.
Yeah.
They're fantastically done. Well, when written by the right people, I suppose. You can do any good character with the wrong person on board. I don't think we have any other questions unless you've got any, Mikey, that's floating about.
No, and even if I did, I can't access my email on here yet.
Bummer. Oh, no.
Haven't tried.
Ooh. I am a little worried that you said you've had some like auto adjusting. I'm scared what that means for me tomorrow.
God, I don't care about you.
I know, but I do because it'll add a lot more work, and that's not fun. So, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter with Irish Paleo, and of course you can send us feedback on the moonbase2@gmail.com and all the other places you usually know of. Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter as CCTFW. You can find me on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. This podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. Excuse me, on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can also head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2. And if you do $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files of Teletran 2. You also get it a week early, and you also get the Moonbase where we talk about non-transformery things. And this will be a Halloween-themed spoopy one this month, with me and Nicole talking about like spoopy paranormal stuff. So it'll either be cryptids or it'll be creepypasta stories or anything like that. I'm gonna let Nicole bring the table to me and sit me down and tell. It'll be kind of like the mysterious universe kind of stuff, like what the new kind of creepy stuff is, because I've been out the loop on that for a long time. So
yeah, I was going to say I haven't listened to that in a very, very, very long time.
Same. So I look forward to being informed by the lovely Nicole. And you can also head over to ccbunker.weebly.com. And if you want to come and watch me play video games, I'm over on Twitch as CCTFW. I usually stream UK time from 11 o'clock in the evening till about 1 o'clock in the morning. So that's about 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. So good times. We can have fun. You can watch me do things, so you can have a chat with me in the call, anything like that. And that's it, Mr. Mikey. We're done for this week. Hurrah!
Hurrah!
Hurrah! So until next week, everybody, we will catch you laters.
Take care, kids.
You are now leaving